humanity's battle fleet entered the war zone and eliminated the enemy instantly. Massive ships floated in strange formations, their weapons flaring like dying stars, and the galaxy watched, waiting for the inevitable collapse of one side. The Galactic Alliance had sent observers to record the conflict. Among them, humans had just arrived, a fleet small in number, almost modest compared to the alien giants, but their presence was noticed immediately. Admiral Kara Lang stood on the bridge of the Pioneer, the lead human command ship. She scanned the data streaming from the tactical displays. "They don't expect us," she said softly, almost to herself. Lieutenant Raymai, her communications officer, tilted his head. "Expect what, Admiral?" "Anything," Kara replied. "We're human, that's already a surprise." Her fleet had been traveling for months, quietly moving through neutral systems. No one had seen them coming. To the aliens, humans were minor participants in the galactic stage, a young species, fragile and untested. That assumption would soon change. The first contact was uneventful. Sensors detected alien scout ships, small and fast, moving to intercept. The alien screens showed a fleet of minimal size, less than half what a single alien armada would expect to face. "They think this is all we have," Kara said with a faint smile. "Let's prove them wrong." Without fanfare, the human fleet slipped into the war zone. Unlike the alien vessels, which bristled with weapons and shields in random patterns, human ships moved with purpose and symmetry. Each formation was calculated, yet flexible, able to shift instantly as situations changed. Alien commanders watched from their massive bridges, incredulous. "Why do they move like that?" one asked, his voice trembling. "They have no formations like ours, no hierarchy." "It is chaotic," another shook his head. "It is precision disguised as chaos, impossible." The humans didn't fire immediately. Instead, they analyzed. They observed alien tactics, noting weak points and predictable patterns. Then, almost imperceptibly, the human ships shifted, small, subtle changes. Sensors barely registered them, but the change was enough. And then the first volley came. Alien missiles streaked through space, targeting the human fleet. Every alien ship aimed for the largest human vessels, expecting them to crumble under the fire. The humans responded, not with shields or counterfire, but with movement. Their ships twisted, rotated, and phased through the attack paths like dancers in perfect synchronization. Every missile missed. The alien commanders stared in disbelief. They dodged." "Yes," said a younger officer, her tentacles curling nervously. "All of them, every single one." Kara leaned back in her chair, her fingers resting lightly on the console. "Begin phase 2, she said. Instantly, human ships split into multiple units, smaller groups that surrounded the alien squadron. The humans did not fire blindly. Each laser pulse, each energy burst, targeted a specific weak point identified in seconds. Alien ships, powerful but slow to respond, began to lose systems one by one. Engines failed, weapons jammed, communications flickered. The destruction was surgical, not chaotic, not indiscriminate, precise, efficient, and it stunned everyone watching. In the alien command bridges, voices rose in panic. How is this possible?" one yelled. "Their ships are smaller, their weapons weaker." "They are thinking differently," another admitted. "They do not rely on raw firepower like us. They act as one. They adapt. Every time we adjust, they adjust faster." Within minutes, an entire alien squadron, vessels that had been feared for decades, was neutralized. Not destroyed in a massive explosion, but incapacitated, its ships drifting powerless in space. Kara's voice was calm. "Secure the area. Protect the civilians. Continue scanning for hostiles." It was a human principle she had instilled in her fleet. Winning a fight did not mean punishing the enemy unnecessarily. Humanity's goal was control through precision, not through terror. Far away, civilians trapped in the conflict zone watched human ships arrive. Their lives had been shattered by decades of war. The humans did not attack them. Instead, small transport vessels moved among the wreckage, evacuating those in danger. Supplies and medical aid followed. For many, it was the first kindness they had seen in years. Alien soldiers, watching the humans' efficiency and care, began to murmur. Some whispered among themselves, hesitant. Why do they not destroy everything? They think differently, one said. By the end of the first engagement, the human fleet had established a foothold in the war zone. The aliens were stunned. They had underestimated humans completely. Fleet after fleet had fallen into the trap of assuming humans were weak, and they had been wrong. Kara walked through the corridors of the Pioneer, observing her officers. They expect fear, she said. They expect us to panic under fire, they expect chaos, but we are humans. We solve problems, we protect life, and we adapt. Lieutenant Raymai nodded. It is working, Admiral. They are stunned. Yes, Kara replied, and we must keep them that way. The moment they recover, they will try to overwhelm us. We must always be one step ahead. The alien high command began issuing orders, frantic and disorganized. Concentrate fire on the humans, one shouted. They cannot be allowed to spread. But the humans were already beyond that point. They had predicted the alien moves before the orders were even given. Their ships repositioned, cutting off supply lines and communications without firing a single shot. Every movement was deliberate, every action calculated. A young officer on the alien side, watching his screens, muttered in disbelief. They are perfect. Perfect, an older commander snapped. No species is perfect, they are only humans, how can this be? Perhaps, humans are not like any species we have seen before, the young officer replied. By the time the sun set on the war zone, the human fleet had neutralized multiple enemy units. Not through overwhelming numbers, not through raw force, but through ingenuity, teamwork, and precision. They had shown the galaxy that humans were not just another species, they were a species to be respected. As Kara watched the stars stretch past the viewport, she knew this was only the beginning. Other alien fleets would come. Other challenges would arise. But she also knew that humanity had a strength no other species could match, the ability to adapt, to think, and to act as one. And when the aliens finally understood, it would be too late. For now, though, the humans rested. Their ships floated calmly among the wreckage of alien vessels, their crews silent but alert. Every human knew that victory was not just about weapons. It was about strategy, morality, and unity. In the quiet moments before the next engagement, Kara whispered to herself, "Let them learn this lesson slowly. Humanity has only begun to show its strength." The war zone had never been so quiet. Alien commanders stared at their screens in disbelief. Word of the humans' precision had spread across fleets faster than any official report could reach them. Ships that had once advanced boldly now hesitated. Some turned back, unsure if they were equipped to face the unknown threat. In the midst of this, Admiral Kara Lang's fleet moved like a shadow across the conflict zone. Not a single ship fired unnecessarily. They moved strategically, repairing and rescuing, striking only when essential. To the aliens, this behavior was baffling. They had never encountered a species that fought without rage or revenge, a species that valued efficiency and life over destruction. Lieutenant Raymai scanned incoming signals. "Admiral," he said, frowning, "we're receiving multiple distress calls from civilian colonies caught in crossfire. They're asking for evacuation." Kara nodded. "Prepare the transport ships. We'll move them safely. Every life counts." While the aliens had spent decades perfecting weapons capable of destroying planets, humans focused on saving lives. Small human shuttles darted among war-torn systems, evacuating civilians, delivering medical aid, and stabilizing damaged stations. Families trapped for years in the middle of alien conflict were rescued, their faces lighting up at the sight of humans. Meanwhile, alien fleets tried to regroup. Commanders argued fiercely, blaming each other for the human disruption. "They are too fast," one hissed. "Their ships anticipate every attack before it begins." "They are humans," another shouted. "How can such a primitive species outthink us?" Yet, it was not just speed or precision that confused them. Humans acted differently in ways aliens could not predict. While alien fleets relied on intimidation, humans relied on strategy and coordination. Every ship moved in sync, every weapon was targeted with purpose, every action had a reason. And every time the aliens adapted, humans had already adapted one step further. Aboard the Pioneer, Kara looked at the holographic map of the war zone. It showed multiple alien fleets spread across light years. Many of these fleets had begun to retreat, uncertain how to engage humans. "We need to push forward carefully," Kara said. "We cannot rely on their fear forever. Eventually they will try something new." Raymai nodded. "Our rescues are inspiring them too. Some of their soldiers are refusing orders, saying they do not want to fight humans." Kara smiled faintly. "Humans inspire trust because we act with integrity. That is a weapon they cannot predict." Indeed, across the war zone, alien soldiers whispered among themselves. Small groups began defecting or simply halting attacks. They watched humans save civilians, repair stations, and coordinate flawlessly. Even hardened war veterans were shaken by the calm efficiency of humans in the chaos of war. On one alien command ship, Captain Thalrex banged his clawed fists against the control panel. "This cannot be. They are not killing us, yet they dominate every battle." His second-in-command spoke carefully. "Perhaps they are not our enemy in the way we expected. They act as one, not for power but for purpose. They are unlike any species we have fought." Thalrex growled, but he could not argue with the evidence. His fleet had suffered losses without even a full-scale engagement. "Prepare for full assault," he ordered reluctantly. "We cannot allow them to disrupt the war any further." But the humans were ready. They anticipated the alien response, predicting likely attack patterns. The human ships moved into positions that neutralized the alien advantage without a single shot fired. Communication lines were cut, supply chains severed, and alien formations were scattered before weapons were even deployed. It was not destruction humans sought, it was control through precision. Every ship that fell out of formation was isolated and unable to continue fighting. Every alien attack that came too close was redirected into harmless space or countered with human ingenuity. In the midst of this, civilians cheered. They had watched fleets clash for decades, yet these humans moved with clarity, decisiveness, and care. Mothers held children to their chests, engineers wiped tears from their eyes, and the oldest citizens whispered, "These humans, they are different. They are something more." Even alien defectors were astounded. One young officer, Yaun, spoke quietly to his new human allies aboard a transport shuttle. "I have seen war all my life. My fleet fights, my leaders kill, yet I have never seen such order, such purpose. You humans, you are terrifying in a way I cannot describe." Kara smiled gently at him. "We are not terrifying, Yaun. We are just human, and humans adapt. That is all." Yaun nodded slowly. He had fled a life of blind obedience only to discover a species that thought differently, acted differently, and lived differently. Humans had not only defeated his fleet, they had shaken his beliefs. As the day passed, more alien fleets began to hesitate. Rumors of human efficiency spread faster than any official communication network could carry them. Stories of precise strikes, flawless coordination, and humanitarian care traveled across sectors. Some alien leaders began to question the war itself. On a distant command bridge, Supreme Commander Zelthar watched incoming reports. He was the most senior strategist of the warring factions, and even he was at a loss. "They fight without hatred, without chaos, and yet they dominate," he muttered. "How can this be?" His aide spoke cautiously. "Commander, their fleet is smaller, yet it moves as if it were one mind. Every human ship anticipates the next move. They are different. They cannot be understood the way we understand others. Zelthar's eyes narrowed. Perhaps we have underestimated them for too long. Perhaps humans are the new standard. Meanwhile, in the war zone, human engineers repaired damaged stations and ships left abandoned by fleeing alien crews. Supplies were distributed with precision, and rescue missions continued. Every action humans took sent a clear message. They did not fight for glory or domination. They fought for efficiency, for life, and for order. The shockwave of humanity's presence spread beyond the immediate war zone. Observers in distant systems whispered rumors of the humans who could defeat fleets instantly, who could rescue thousands without a scratch, and who acted with both intelligence and compassion. Even the Galactic Alliance officials, who had expected humans to be promising but inexperienced, now watched with awe. "They are rewriting the rules of engagement," one officer said. "They are teaching the galaxy that intelligence, teamwork, and moral clarity can be more powerful than raw strength." Kara received reports of alien fleets delaying attacks, not from fear but from uncertainty. They did not yet understand humans. And humans did not need them to understand. Humans only needed to act. One night, as the human fleet rested in orbit around a small, ruined colony, Kara walked the corridors of the Pioneer, observing her crew. "Every alien fleet that hesitates is an opportunity," she said. "Every life we save strengthens our position. Every move we make shows the galaxy who humans really are." Raimi glanced at the stars beyond the viewport. "Do you think they will ever truly understand us?" he asked. Kara shook her head slightly. "No, and that is fine. Humans do not need to be understood to succeed. We only need to act with clarity, precision, and unity. That is our strength." The fleet's quiet efficiency continued to shock the war zone. Alien fleets that had once prided themselves on centuries of strategy now hesitated, some refusing to engage, others surrendering small units to avoid confrontation. Civilians, once terrified, now looked to humans as protectors. Even alien observers who had once dismissed humans as insignificant began to reconsider. By the end of Part 2, the humans had reshaped the war zone not through destruction, but through strategy, precision, and moral clarity. They had shown the galaxy that human strength was not measured by weapons alone. It was measured by thought, teamwork, and integrity. The aliens were left stunned. Across multiple command bridges, whispers carried the same phrase. "They fight differently. They think differently. They are humans." And in the quiet corners of space, Kara smiled. Humanity had only just begun to show the galaxy its power. The war zone, once a chaotic battlefield of fire and destruction, had quieted. Alien fleets that had once advanced confidently now hovered uncertainly in space. They had seen what humans could do, and the galaxy had begun to whisper a single word: different. On the bridge of the Pioneer, Admiral Kara Lang studied the holographic map of the war zone. Lights representing ships, stations, and civilian outposts blinked in a careful pattern. The humans controlled space not by force but by order. Every movement, every operation had a purpose. Lieutenant Raimi approached. "Admiral, alien fleets are still holding back, but some are requesting negotiations. They want terms." Kara nodded. "Good, send them a message. We will meet them. But they need to understand something. Humans are not here to dominate, only to establish balance." The first delegation arrived aboard a human shuttle, 3 alien commanders who had never believed humans could act with such clarity. They were cautious, their weapons silent but present. Kara greeted them calmly. "Welcome. We understand your fleets have been in conflict for decades. You have wasted time and resources fighting each other. We are here to help you resolve this, not by destroying, but by organizing." One alien commander, Thalrex, stepped forward. His voice was sharp, but his posture was wary. "You humans, you have destroyed our ships, scattered our fleets, and yet you did not kill unnecessarily. Why? Why do you act like this? Kara looked him in the eye. Because we value life. Every action we take is purposeful. We fight to protect, to organize, to create solutions. That is what humans do. You will see that strength is not in weapons alone. The aliens exchanged nervous glances. No species had ever confronted them with such calm confidence. They had expected a battle of destruction. Instead, they were offered order, efficiency, and guidance. Over the next days, humans began implementing solutions across the war zone. Communication networks were established between alien fleets. Supply lines were repaired. Civilian colonies were stabilized. Humans coordinated the movement of ships, ensuring no fleet collided with another unnecessarily. Small alien units began cooperating, hesitantly at first, and then with increasing trust. They saw the humans leading with logic, efficiency, and compassion. Humans did not demand loyalty, they earned it through action. In one striking example, a damaged alien ship drifted dangerously close to a collapsing space station. Human engineers boarded it, repaired critical systems, and guided it safely to port. The crew of that ship watched in awe. One young alien whispered to a human technician, You saved us." "Why?" The technician smiled simply. "Because that is what humans do. We act, we adapt, we protect when we can." Word of such acts spread quickly. Across the war zone, whispers replaced fear. Alien soldiers began questioning their orders. Some refused to fight, inspired by humans' example. Others defected, joining human-led operations to save lives instead of causing destruction. Supreme Commander Zelthar, who had once doubted humans entirely, convened a council. "They are not our enemy in the way we imagined," he admitted. "They are something new. They fight with precision, with morality, and with unity. Their power is not in their weapons, it is in how they think." One aide replied cautiously, "Commander, should we attack them anyway? Our fleets still outnumber theirs." Zelthar shook his head. "No. If we try, we will lose, not because of force, but because we cannot match their strategy. Humans are a new standard." Meanwhile, Admiral Kara moved through the war zone with her fleet. Human ships acted as guardians, repairing stations, escorting fleets, and evacuating civilians. They encountered hostile alien units only rarely, and when they did, humans neutralized threats with minimal confrontation, isolating aggressors without unnecessary destruction. Alien leaders watched this carefully. They began to realize that humans were not just another species to fear, they were a species to respect and learn from. Even alien children on distant colonies heard stories of humans. Tales spread of humans who could coordinate hundreds of ships as if they were one mind, of humans who saved civilians while maintaining tactical superiority, and of humans who acted with logic, courage, and integrity. Back on the Pioneer, Kara addressed her officers. "The war zone is changing, but our mission remains. We show the galaxy that strength is not just weapons. Strength is unity, strategy, and morality. Every fleet that follows our example, every life we save, spreads human values. That is our power." Her words resonated. Across the fleet, officers understood that humans had achieved what no alien civilization could: a lasting impact without destruction. As humans coordinated ceasefire agreements between warring alien factions, the scale of their achievement became clear. Entire fleets halted combat operations. Supply chains and communications were restored. Civilian populations began to rebuild. The war zone, once a place of fear and chaos, became a symbol of possibility, proof that intelligence, cooperation, and compassion could shape the galaxy. Thalrex, the alien commander who had first met Kara, watched the humans organize operations from orbit. He spoke quietly to his aides. "I thought humans were weak. I thought they would be easy to destroy. But now, I see that we were wrong. They are not like any species I have ever known. They do not fight for pride or glory. They fight to protect, to solve, to improve. That is power beyond weapons." Yaun, the young officer who had defected earlier, smiled as he assisted human engineers. I never imagined such order could exist in war. Humans, they are extraordinary. I want to learn from them. Even as the war zone stabilized, rumors of humanity spread farther. Other alien civilizations, watching from afar, whispered the same thing: never underestimate humans. And yet humanity did not stop. They moved beyond the war zone, continuing to assist wherever conflict or disaster arose. They did not seek fame nor domination. They simply acted as humans always had: adaptable, intelligent, and united. As the last alien fleet withdrew to its own systems, Kara stood on the bridge of the Pioneer, looking out at the stars. "We have shown them who we are," she said softly. "Not through destruction, but through action. They may never fully understand humans, but they will never forget us." Raymai nodded. "Do you think we have changed the galaxy?" Kara smiled. "Not just the galaxy. We have changed expectations. Every species that faces humans will know that power is more than weapons. Strength is in thought, in unity, and in morality. That is humanity's true advantage." Below them, the war zone shimmered with the first signs of rebuilding. Human engineers worked alongside alien crews, repairing stations, restoring habitats, and ensuring peace. It was a sight that no fleet of weapons could create, a lasting impact born from intelligence, integrity, and teamwork. The galaxy would remember this day. They would remember the humans who entered a war zone and reshaped it instantly, not through fear, not through hatred, but through clarity, courage, and cooperation. And somewhere in distant star systems, alien commanders whispered the same lesson over and over: never underestimate humans. For humanity, it was only the beginning. They had proven that HFY is more than strength. It is ingenuity, unity, and moral clarity. The stars awaited them, full of challenges, conflicts, and civilizations to inspire. And Admiral Kara Lang, standing on the bridge of the Pioneer, knew one thing for certain: wherever humans went, they would always leave a mark. A mark that no weapon could erase. A mark that would teach the galaxy that humanity was unlike anything it had ever seen before.